Get in on the secret. September is one of the best times to visit the Boardwalk Plaza Hotel in Rehoboth Beach. The weather is grand, and just steps from the sand, you can relax and experience the convenience of their oceanfront location right on the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk. Enjoy Victoria's Restaurant, the charming Plaza Pub and room service. Visit boardwalkplaza.com and book your perfect getaway today, or call 800-33-BEACH for fast, friendly assistance. Thanks to the Boardwalk Plaza for being the Bridge Podcast Network sponsor.
Achoo!
God bless you.
Why did you say that?
Man, that'd be a great lead into an episode that we should do right now.
Let's talk about it. I'm Mark Dickey.
And I'm Bert Miller.
This is the Why Do Christians podcast. Humor is what keeps this alive, Bert.
Okay.
Hey, welcome.
Do you want the spark in the podcast? We throw a joke in, okay? No joke, no giggles, no show.
No show. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Mark Dickey. I host the afternoon show on the Bridge radio station, which if you live in Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, South Jersey, you can listen to it. We're on a bunch of frequencies. You can get all the details at wearethebridge.org. My co-host is Pastor Bert Miller of Solid Ground Church in Lewis, Delaware. Bert Gesundheit Miller, how you doing?
Mark, I'm riding the waves of whatever energy you're bringing today. I like this. Maybe I missed my first ever episode of this show last week, and you carried it so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
But I feel energized, and it's very clear, like you just amped up the vocal power in this room. So let's go, man.
I received that.
Yeah, like buckle in. Like wherever this coasters are rolling, I'm in. I'm along for the ride.
Yeah, well, we talk about how the reason we do this podcast, at least the way I say it on my show, I don't know how you tell people in your life.
I tell them, listen, I talk a lot, and I'd like to just bless your ears.
This is how you tell people at church.
I go, sir, in the checkout counter, I'd like to bless your ears. Can I do that? Let me tell you about this podcast I do.
What's your podcast like, Pastor Bert? Well, it's like one of my sermons, except you know how you always want to like cut me off in the middle of my sermon? There's this guy, Mark, and he cuts me off in the middle of my thoughts all the time.
No. I put a lot of work into my sermons. This is... Yeah.
So the way I talk about this podcast on my show, on the radio, is that we ask questions about the Christian faith and Christian culture.
True.
And so
yes.
That's what we do.
You have accurately conveyed that information to your listening base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every week. Christian faith, Christian culture. We're asking questions about that.
That's what we do, folks. That's what we're all about here.
And would you let me finish?
Sorry. I'm trying to be a good co-host and just chime in with backing up what you're saying. Is that not what co-hosts do? How many episodes are we in at this point? Have I not done that right?
We're at like 80 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm either getting the hang of it or making it exponentially worse. I can't tell right now.
Maybe I brought too much energy.
No such thing. Keep going.
All right. So Christian culture is where we're going to be today.
Okay.
And specifically, why do Christians say, bless you? Because somebody sneezed and for some reason we had to bring God into the situation.
Absolutely.
And why?
What were we doing if we didn't?
Yeah.
Well, I know the answer, but
Yeah. You know what we should do before we answer this question?
I would love to know what we should do before we should answer that question.
Do you know what this is?
Well, yes, because I can see.
Right, you're in the room with me.
Yeah.
They don't know what this is, though.
Tell them what happened, Mark.
We got a letter.
An actual letter.
A physical letter sent to the radio station. And I always say, like, if you have questions, you can write into the podcast.
We didn't think you'd take us up on it.
We didn't think you would. No, but usually people email podcast@wearethebridge.org. But I have not opened this yet. I thought it would be fun to capture the surprise
live on the air
on tape.
If it's a death threat, we're going to edit that out.
Right.
All right.
True.
Okay.
So Gary from Port Norris, New Jersey.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary. It's good to hear from you. the part that I'm curious about is Gary has definitely emailed the podcast before.
Maybe it's a different Gary from Port Norris, New Jersey. I would assume there's more than one.
He has the same last name.
Okay,
It's definitely Gary.
Okay, well, all right. Yeah, the odds are slimming. Then.
So
okay.
I'm like, did Gary's computer break? You know, is he unable to send an email?
If Gary's computer broke, we're going to do nothing for him by responding to whatever letter he wrote.
We'll make a cassette copy. All right,
Great.
So
We'll mail it back. Keep the return address.
I'm going to open this for the first time.
Okay.
And
Good.
This
Yeah,
is
just
not
rip that
theater
right
of
on your
mind.
mic.
Yeah.
Good.
I had to make sure that they heard it.
Oh, it was good.
All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, no gift card. So strike one, Gary. I'm just kidding. We're so excited that you wrote in. 16th of February in the year of our Lord 2025.
Did he write it out like that?
Yes.
Wow.
And there's 2 pages.
Okay.
My brothers Bert and Mark, greetings from the bustling metropolis of Port Norris, New Jersey.
Man.
What a way to start a letter.
Man.
I hope this letter finds both of you and your families well.
It did.
My family's well too.
Yeah.
This is great.
This letter is exactly what I dreamed it would be.
To give you a brief update, after meeting Mark and the entire Bridge family at the Jeremy Rosado concert at the Cumberland County Community Church in March of last year, my wife, mother, and I have been adopted into the Cumberland County Community Church family. Currently, my wife serves as part of the children's ministry, and I serve in various ways as much as I can. You know what? Gary, I believe one of his first questions
It's about Christian community stuff.
was about community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary, we've done 80 episodes, so I
remember
it's getting
Gary's.
fuzzy, but I specifically remember we did have a conversation about
Because I remember he when he reached out, he said he'd taken notes. He was actually reflecting on the points and stuff of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. It's all coming back to me now. Gary, that's awesome. I will be forever grateful to our Bridge family for all the love, direction, and support you provided by everyone, and for you speaking with me about finding our church. That's so cool. In regards to the Why Do Christians podcast, I would again like to relay to both, although we all know that Pastor Bert does most of the heavy lifting, smiley face, how much I appreciate the joking nature and the back and forth between you, at the same time delivering some great insight and topics that are relevant no matter where you are in your walk. Keep up the great work. And there's a second page, and between this podcast and our church podcast, Making Light of It, that's funny, with Pastor Sam and Justin, they are my go-to podcasts for an entertaining way to learn about God's Word and Christian life as I continue my walk. With that, I would like to relay a Why Do Christians pondering for your considerations.
Whoa. Can we get a question that we don't answer on this episode? What's the protocol for this?
That's just, we've never gotten a letter before.
We never had to
we've never done this.
Hold on. Okay, so is this almost like the breadcrumbs are being, strewn about to lead to a future question that we are absolutely not going to answer on this episode?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
We're going to read it and we're going to do nothing with it today.
We're going to do nothing with it.
Great.
Except it's like a teaser trailer. It's like you came for the movie.
Sure.
You paid your $15, however much it costs to go to the movies today.
Sounds about right.
To learn about why people say bless you.
Okay.
But we're going to let you know
the feature
about
presentation.
And now our feature present.
Right.
Okay. He asks, why do Christians allow anxiety into their lives when Philippians 4:6 commands us not to be anxious about anything? That's a fantastic question.
I can't wait to answer that at a later date.
Not today.
Yeah, but that is a great question.
Follow-up question to that.
Whoa.
No, there's 2.
It's a twofer.
Would it be considered okay. All right. So I'm going to hold on to that thought, and we'll do that in that episode.
Oh, wait, so there's more to the question that we're not going to read today?
That's right.
Mark, my interest is piqued.
Woo.
Okay.
This isn't the full trailer. This is just like a teaser.
This is the trailer for the trailer.
Yeah.
Which is the thing they do. That's a thing that happens now.
And you know what he says? I hope this letter has brought a blessing to your day. Your brother in Christ, Gary.
Hey, it's always a good day when we hear from Gary.
Yeah, Gary, thank you so much for that. I don't have my glasses on, but I know we're pretty far into this episode without even talking about the topic.
That's all right. That's okay.
I just know we've been sitting here a little while.
Mark, we got a physical letter in the mail. I feel like if that's not a reason for pause, reflection, and thanks, what are we even doing here?
You know, and I would actually say, I bet we're in the minority of podcasts that receive physical letters.
Yeah. Take that.
Like, I think
Other podcasts?
we went up,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Those big time podcasters, they get emails and social DMs.
Do they?
Sure.
Okay. That sounds nice.
But we get letters.
yeah, we do.
There's a stamp on here.
You could frame that.
A real human being with a real pen, real heartbeat with a real question said, I'm going to spend my time with those guys. Thanks, Gary. On to the topic.
Okay. Okay. What were we talking about today? My mind has gone blank.
A chew.
God bless you. Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Mark, you want to set us up, talk about this a little bit, and then let's go.
Yeah. So I remember asking my mom this exact question. I must have been 5 or 6 years old. You know, like, hey, Mom, why do you say bless you after I sneeze? She told me that people believed that when you sneezed, your heart stopped beating.
Oh.
That like you just could not breathe and sneeze at the same time, or not breathe. You couldn't pump blood and sneeze at the same time.
Okay.
And so we say bless you,
Yes.
because we want the Lord to make sure your heart starts up again.
Okay. So, here's the thing. I would say that's in the spirit of the answer, but not necessarily the answer.
Okay.
Okay. So there's actually several reasons why Christians have come to the habit of saying God bless you when people sneeze. Okay. So it's not just one.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you ever watch a cartoon where you see like a snowball and it rolls down like a snowy mountain, how it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Uh-huh.
This is kind of like that, where there's multiple things that are being picked up and have added substance to the snowball. Okay. So earliest official like church thing. There are other superstitions and Bible ideas, but if we're talking about like church things, some things that we know that happen, this is where it gets a little bit crazy. And this is a common explanation that traces back to about 590 to 604 AD under the reign of Pope Gregory I. So what happened was there was this plague outbreak in Rome.
Gary was right. You do the heavy lifting.
Well,
I didn't think you'd go this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
right.
history is a fascinating wonderland of knowledge, and I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, so during the reign of Pope Gregory I, there was this plague in Rome called the Plague of Justinian. And sneezing was seen as an early symptom of the plague. And so the Pope encouraged people to say, God bless you, as a prayer to protect the sneezer from falling ill or dying.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then it was commonly accompanied by making the sign of the cross over the person who sneezed. So that's one thing that happened, where that came from. So people are dying, and so the Pope's like, say God bless you, so that they'd be okay, right? Another thing is this, and this is before the influence of Christianity, but like ancient cultures, a lot of them believed that a sneeze expelled the soul from the body.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? So, and actually, what could happen is, as the listen, it's just different times, man. Okay, it's different times. They believe, like it says, you sneeze and the soul goes flying out, right? And if you're not careful, while the soul is out, an evil spirit could come into the body and take the place of the soul. And so, saying "bless you" was thought to protect the sneezer from harm or possession.
It seems so urgent, like that. Like bless you from the Pope seemed so like, oh, that's really nice.
And then,
but then this one's like, bless you, bless you.
That's exactly right. Yeah. If only, by the way, that was the only reason. Okay. So let's learn what we're doing here. Okay. So here's another one. So this actually, okay. You can use some Bible to kind of, I would say, get there, but you can trace the thought kind of. Okay, so what I say is not, the Bible teaches this. I'm going to be really clear with that. But there is some Bible that people could start to say what they're going to say, right? So there's this part would be, okay, I'll say it like this. So whenever you're reading the Bible, right, and you see the word breath, okay, Same word, breath, spirit, life. In Hebrew in the Old Testament, the original word was ruach. In the New Testament, it's the Greek word pneuma. Same idea is that like spirit, breath, or wind, that has to do with life. Okay, so think about in Genesis 2:7 when God forms Adam, it says he breathed the breath of God into him, right? He breathed the breath of life into him. So God's spirit, he breathes into the man, so the air goes in, right? And this creates life, okay? So in ancient times, what people would believe sometimes also is this idea that, okay, if somebody sneezed, the person's life force was exiting their body, okay? Because right, it's going out, right? And so this idea of saying bless you was a way to invoke God's protection and acknowledge the for lack of a better phrase, the sneezer's ongoing health. Okay, so all right, hey, I just want to make sure that you're okay going forward. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that like you could really say is like, yeah, the Bible says we should do that.
Right.
And that's one of the first places we start with episodes is, okay, Christians do this. Well, what does the Bible say about it?
I'm trying to think if there's even a Bible verse that mentions the word sneeze. I can't think of one.
You can bet we're going to find it right now.
Okay.
When Leviathan sneezes.
What verse is that?
Job 41:18.
Really?
When Leviathan sneezes, it is like lightning flashing out. His eyes shine like the light of dawn.
Okay.
His sneezings flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning.
What translation is that?
The AI overview on Google.
Okay, hold on. All right. Oh, the Google version. Got it.
2 Kings 4:35. He returned and walked in the house once back and forth and went up and stretched himself on him, and the lad sneezed seven times.
Oh, you're right. Actually, dude, hold on. Because that actually lends credence to the idea of the belief that like the breath is life type thing. So the story that you just referenced there in 2 Kings 4, what happens is there's a
got a live one.
Dude,
we got a live one. Pastor Bert didn't prepare for this.
No, but it works. All right, so there's a story in 2 Kings 4 where this kid dies, and the prophet Elisha comes and prays for him, and God raises the child from the dead, right? Mm-hmm. And that verse you just referenced, 4:35, Elisha turned and walked back and forth in the room, and so the idea is like Elisha's like he's praying, he's travailing. It says, and okay, how did he know that he had come back to life? The boy sneezed 7 times and opened his eyes. So achoo. Okay, so 7, that's a number of perfection and completion. It points to the number of the Lord, and so he sneezes. And that oh wow, okay, so that leads to that idea of breath as life, because it's actually linked to life right there.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think you could make the case that okay, then you should say God bless you when somebody sneezes because of that, because there it's actually the reverse. It's they sneeze and then that's actually how you know that he is alive. It's not that sneezing is making the life escape from his body. Sneezing is triggering to let you know that life is in his body. But dude, I had no idea. I completely forgot that that's in the Bible. Yeah.
My favorite thing, and this is just the real deal. Like I said, that was a live one. Like Bert asked a question. I pulled it up on Google real quick, and I just love that I pulled a random verse out of the Bible. To me, that's a random verse. Mm-hmm. I'm not as familiar with 2 Kings as you are, but like for you to just hear a fraction of that passage and know exactly, oh yeah, this, and this happened. I just think that. I just want to compliment you in front of all of our listeners and Gary.
Especially Gary. If I'm not impressing Gary, what am I doing? Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about like having you on the podcast is you are just very well studied and you're just awesome.
Well, brother, I appreciate the encouragement and thank you for that. I would say I'm not so sure it's like I know every Bible story so much as that's a story I really enjoy. So just in all fairness, I don't want to present myself as knowing more than I do. But I do know other reasons that Christians say God bless you.
Okay.
I can give you 2 more if you want them. If you don't want them, we don't have to talk about them.
Yeah.
But if you want them, like would people walk away from this episode feeling as though they didn't know the answer unless we gave them the full range of possible reasons. I feel like we owe our listeners that.
We absolutely do.
Okay, so here's another one. It develops out of Christians having charitable habits, right? So the practice of Christians, like, you think about how much in the Bible talks about the way that we speak to people, how our words should be measured, like we should be kind, we should be building up, not tearing down, right? So speaking kindly would be the idea of you're invoking God's favor on a person. So somebody sneezes and your knee-jerk reaction is to pray for their well-being and pray for their benefit. Like, God bless you. May the Lord's favor shine upon you, right? Essentially, that's what's happening there. So saying bless you within that vein became just a socially polite expression of goodwill. And so that's another reason why Christians maybe have picked it up over the years. Mm-hmm. The only last one that I've got is reflexes. Like we've said it because of like previous things that, somebody says, achoo, something rhymes with that. So just as God bless you, right? Like you just kind of do it because you're used to doing it. And so it's just a polite thing to say. So maybe to break the social tension a little bit, so somebody sneezes and just kind of turn and give them a dirty look, right? Because everybody sneezes. So yeah.
How could you?
Yeah. Keep it in your nose, Charlie.
What's that from?
I think I made it up. Yeah. That's not how we do things here.
If your name's Charlie, you let us know that you're listening.
Yeah. And let us know if you've ever sneezed. Actually, don't do that.
I do think it's really interesting that we can kind of take our faith and sort of a la carte, grab things from other faiths, specifically like superstitions and stuff.
Appropriate them,
and we can work them into our Christian walk, even though it's nowhere to be found in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Do you have other examples of that?
Of other ancient traditions and superstitions with sneezing? Yeah.
That specifically.
Sure. Oddly enough, I do. Yeah. So I'll give you some from across a few places. For instance, in ancient Greece, sneezing was seen as a sign from the gods.
That they put too much pepper on something?
No. Like, so there's this ancient historian named Xenophon, and he actually recorded an instance where,
God bless you,
right? So here this historian, he records an event where a soldier sneezed while a general was speaking, and the army took that as a favorable omen from the gods. So okay, so because they just kind of they believed in sneezing as this spiritual thing of invading the physical world, and it's a little bit different, right?
That is so wild.
Yeah. Well, hold on though, man. Okay, you say that, and yes, I agree. I agree that it's wild. Okay, but let me just for a moment. All right, you've been in the church space for a while. Mm-hmm. Okay, and hey, we'll take a step further. You're a radio DJ. And you know stuff about microphones and tech and production and stuff.
I know where this is going.
Okay. How many times have you thought to yourself heard people vocalize, hey, something's going on during the sermon. Oh, the mic feeds back at a critical moment or crackles or pop. Oh, it must be that there's something spiritual happening. Either, the devil has attacked our soundboard that's 30 years old, or it's... God is confirming what the pastor said. Is it, or is it the equipment is rough? Yeah. Or maybe God uses rough equipment. I don't know. But so we look at that, we're like, man, that's crazy. But people are really superstitious.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I have prayed for sound systems.
Yeah.
Which I was a sound guy at a church, and there were times where it was just like, Lord, would you supernaturally keep these mics from feeding back right now? Because this is such an important moment, and I can hear it. As a sound guy, you can hear it right before it happens. You're just like,
no, not like this. Yeah, well, here, I'll give you some other ones. Okay, so in ancient Rome, how about this? Because, the Romans and the Greeks, very, very tied historically. So Romans actually saw sneezing as a sign of good fortune or divine favor. So saying Jupiter preserve you was common after a person would sneeze. So that's not very different from the God bless you thing that we say. Like they would say Jupiter preserve you. Here's another one. This is kind of crazy to think about. In ancient China, listen to this. Okay, in ancient China, in like their folklore, sneezing was sometimes believed to indicate that somebody was speaking or thinking about you. So
That's sort of like the was it your ears?
My ears are burning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also a lot of these this is true with the Greeks, people actually in ancient India as well, and the ancient Chinese. They all had this belief that sneezing could release evil spirits from your body, which would be requiring a blessing or protective action to keep them from returning. So there's a lot of superstition in this stuff.
I have I release a lot of spirits from my body every spring and fall.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I take Flonase for that.
Sure. But yeah. But those are those are not isolated, and whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I think some of them are very wrong.
Yeah,
I see echoes in other ones in terms of Christian belief. Not even saying that the Christian belief is right. So like if I sneeze, does that mean that part of my life force is leaving? Well, actually, what we just read in 2 Kings would say no. It's actually the opposite. It shows that I have life in me.
Right.
But that's not like uncommon. Like there are ancient African tribal beliefs that believe the same thing, that a person's life force or spirit was expelled by sneezing. Yeah, like that's just a thing. And so it's just kind of, I don't know. Do you ever look at this stuff and you just go, isn't it interesting that we have these commonalities as human beings to try to explain things, even if they transcend culture, location, what have you. But what's really interesting to me, Mark, is, and I didn't prep this, but just thinking about like that 2 Kings passage, how counterintuitive to common cultures that would be. And then actually, why, I don't know, I haven't done the research to be able to articulate a detailed theology of sneezing. Okay. Like, let me just be clear. I don't have my thesis in sneezing. Okay. All right. But something that I know is, I know when you look at overarching themes of the Bible, they tend to run counterintuitive to prevailing ideas of their days. So think about the story of Noah's flood in Genesis, right? That story of the earth being flooded by the divine, with a hero building a boat and rescuing animals and humanity, all that stuff. That story is not unique to the Old Testament. You can find it across multiple ancient Near Eastern cultures, told differently with different explanations. In fact, I think there's 17 characteristics that the Noah story shares with those ancient stories. But in the other stories, it tends to, like, the entire reasoning for the flood usually doesn't have anything to do with God's, actually I can say this, doesn't have to do with God's justice or divine love and redemption for humanity. So for instance, leading into the Noah story, the reason this happens is because humanity has partnered with the spiritual forces of God in horrible, or spiritual forces against God. So the demonic and the things like the Nephilim and things like that. So there's this overt rebellion against the Lord in creation in just awful ways. And so God essentially resets creation to make it right. That's very different from things like, I think it's the Enuma Elish, but there are other ones like where the gods get drunk, or people are too loud, and so they decide to. That's very different. But it's not just that. Think about like the entire nature of salvation. Every other religion that I'm aware of, certainly every other major religion in the world, salvation is based on humanity doing something to make themselves right.
Right.
Okay, but the gospel is, no, God makes us right with himself. And so I don't I'm not trying to like make this huge jump of, hey, here's where the Bible says something about sneezing and it's counterintuitive to the rest of the world and being definitive in that. But it does remind me of those other things.
Right. I was just thinking of when Jesus rose from the dead, he didn't appear to a bunch of men or government officials. He appeared to a woman, which is not what you're supposed to do when you want to make a compelling argument.
In the first century, you mean? Yeah.
Yes. In that time period.
Yeah.
And same thing. If sneezing is, yeah. Who'd have thought we could talk so much about sneezing?
We couldn't keep it in.
I do have one last question for you, Bert.
Is it about sneezing or just something else?
About kind of the superstitions in general. Like, I'm just so aware after hearing, these different things that you've shared, that we add superstition into our faith. Mm-hmm. And would you say there's like a simple way to mentally kind of check and test, like, is this thing that I believe actually in the Bible?
Give me more with that.
The like superstitions, the old wives' tales. Mm-hmm. Like, how can I know that I'm, even if it's something I believe about God, mm-hmm. and I need to do this in my day to day? I don't know. I guess
trying to figure out how do you know if you've picked up something and it might not necessarily be biblical. Yeah. Well, I think there are a few things. Number one, I think this is the benefit of being part of a faith community.
Yes.
Because we're not meant to do spirituality on our own, and all of us pick up things that we think are there that aren't. We have an advantage in our religion being 2,000 years old, and here's what it is. Everything that you can think of about with the faith, someone has already grappled with. Right? I mean, just there is nothing new. There's no, whether that be a struggle, whether that be a question, the resources are just there. There has been so much written, so much researched. And so I would say, if you're going, man, is this in the Bible or not? First thing that I would encourage you to do is talk with your church. Hey, I've been thinking this, but is that biblical? Mm-hmm. Go at it with other believers first. It's not that Google doesn't exist. It absolutely does. But you can Google and get all kinds of things that may not be right? Because, it's a search engine that searches everything. So I would first take it to people who are trained in the scriptures and who are committed to doing life with you and your betterment. So I would encourage as much as possible to not engage in the faith outside of community. But with that, with personal study, I think there's all kinds of warrants for, looking stuff up and just seeing, hey, I think is this right or not? That's okay to do.
And I can't help but be reminded of the episode we did a while back. I think it was May 26th on 2024. Why do Christians use pagan phrases?
Oh man, I forgot we did that.
Yeah, that whole episode was based around the action of knocking on wood.
Yeah, you're right.
And
you're right. Yeah,
I've met so many Christians who, they'll say something. Yeah, I sure hope that doesn't rain on my wedding day. Knock on wood.
Well, is that pagan tradition or is that Alanis Morissette?
Yes.
Okay.
But so we never in the Bible does it say that you should knock on wood if you're, you don't want something the opposite of what you want to happen, or however
but that just reinforces the point that there's stuff out there.
Yeah.
For sure.
So if you're still thinking like, what is the deal with superstitions and Christian faith? Like, that would be a great follow-up episode to check out. Why do Christians why do Christians use pagan phrases?
But can I encourage with one thing too? I think it's good to realize, and that is, no matter where you are in the process of your faith, whether you've been a Christian for 5 minutes or 50 years, all of us have questions. Mm-hmm. And all of us are wrong at points. Like Paul has this thing he says in 1 Corinthians 13:12, where he says, for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then talking about when we meet the Lord face to face. He says, now I know in part, but then I shall know fully, even as I'm fully known. Okay, so right now what we've got is a glimmer, and things are just partial, but one day we will have all the answers. I say that to say, like, if you're looking at this like, man, I should know better by now, I don't think it works that way. I think there's always things that all of us have to learn and get clarity on.
That's cool. And if you want clarity on some questions, feel free to email the show or even write a letter to the show.
I love that he did that.
Yeah, it really warmed my heart. You can email podcast@wearethebridge.org. That's the main email address we use. And just make sure you mention Why Do Christians? That way it gets to us specifically, because we have a few podcasts on the network. If you want to send us a letter, The Bridge, 1977 Bay Road, Milford, Delaware, 19963. Yeah. I wonder if we'll get another one.
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But thanks for checking out the episode. And if you like this podcast, maybe you're listening on Apple Podcasts or a place that lets you rate the podcast. If you enjoy it, if you would give us a 5-star review, that'd be awesome. If you don't think we're 5 stars, please don't leave a review.
I'd take a 4. I'd take a 4. Would not want 4s?
I guess I'd take a 4.
How'd you feel about a 2?
Sad.
2's a growth opportunity. 2 means we can do better. 3 kind of be indifference. Don't leave 1s. I'll tell you that right now.
Definitely.
Save your 1s for someone else. Yeah. It's just hurtful is what that one is.
That's right.
But 5 is ideal.
Yep.
Okay.
You're always a 5 in our book. Send your questions to podcast@wearethebridge.org. Thanks for listening.